So, welcome to Propagation 101. I can see that obviously my neighbors here, my old neighbors, they know propagation really well, especially when it comes to snake plants. And you guys, are you familiar with propagation, or is it new to you?
Pretty new.
Pretty new. Okay, cool. Excellent. So propagation is an easy way of creating new plants for free. You want an urban jungle, you want more plants in your home, you don't want to spend a lot of money. This is the best possible way of going about doing it. So we have plenty of plants here, obviously, that we can propagate. I see here that you have a philodendron micans in this wine glass. Is this yours, Kristen? Ah, yes, I love it.
It's ready to
Mhm. Oh, yeah. The nice thing is that because its roots are so long, you typically need like only 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches for roots to grow in order to plant it up. But the longer the roots, when you plant it up, the healthier it's going to be, and the more it's going to thrive as a plant. I just started propagating a philodendron splendid, this baby here, and within 2 weeks it has already grown.
go.
Yeah, gosh, probably almost 2 inches. And so I'm gonna wait another, oh gosh, 2 to 4 weeks before potting this baby up. What's funny is that this plant came to me as a 2-leaf cutting. And I'm sorry, it was a 1-leaf cutting with a growth point at the top. And I put it in water and waited for it to grow roots, as one does with propagation. And now that plant is about 6 feet tall. I have it climbing up a trellis in my living room, and it is a beautiful, beautiful plant. When you look at its leaves, it's got like a little splashes of silver and so forth. And what's nice about propagation is that not only is it an easy way to continue your plant collection and make free plants, but the cool thing about it is that you don't need to put them into like bright light, not even bright indirect light. I've had this plant, this cutting, hidden in the living room behind a bunch of other plants underneath our TV. And what's funny about it is that I hadn't checked on it since I put it over there. And the other day, I'm like looking over there, I'm like, wow, those things have roots now. So they're doing well. So it's a cool way of also creating different plants, but also being able to have them in lower lit areas. You don't want them in like bright or bright indirect light because that could stunt the root growth, and that's not something we want. Another cool thing I love about propagation, and Kristen did it awesomely here, is that you can use things like wine glasses and get really creative with decorating with it and make it look unique. What I love about this glass vase here is I got this off of Amazon for, I think it was like a 4 pack of these for maybe 20 bucks. But they come with these little like pin hooks that are like thumbtacks. And so you can just like put it into a safe spot on a wall, and you can hang it up like that and turn it into decoration, into decor. Yeah, so it's really neat. And you can have a ton of fun with it that way from a design aspect. Now, when it comes to propagation, there are certain things and tools that you'll need, and hopefully, I packed my scissors, which I'm now thinking I did not. Boy, I am like the worst apparently with this. Yeah, I didn't pack a pair of scissors. Do we have a pair of scissors here? Whoa! Kristen with the save. Wow. Thank you so much. I swear I know what I'm doing. I promise. And so, with plant propagation, there are parts of a plant that you're looking for that are called nodes. We're going to take this neon green pothos here, which falls under the genus of, let me explain what genus is. So you have your family of plants, then you have your genus and your species. So when it comes to plants like your pothos, which are epiprenum, that's their botanical scientific name, you have right here, even though, oh, they did put it right. although they refer to it as pothos scindapsus. Syndapsis. This is a syndapsis. And over here, we have ourselves two varieties of philodendron heteroecium. This is a heartleaf philodendron heteroecium, your standard. It is. And this one, I love the variegation in it. This is called a philodendron Brazil. And so, all three of these plants in particular, as well as that monstera, a monstera, would fall under the family of Araceae, which is nicknamed aroid. And so, I like to call them aroid because it's simple. What's nice about aroids, the Araceae family, is that they're really easy to propagate. And like I was saying, you want to look for nodes is you would cut, and because I chopped that one leaf off because it wasn't doing too well, I'm going to cut maybe, oh gosh, a quarter of an inch below it, like so. And then what you would do is you would just, are these the glass vessels? Oh, we'll take yours. All right. So you would just fill it with room temperature water, like so. You don't want to use cold water because it would send the plant into shock. And you don't want to use hot water because it would like melt it. And then literally as simple as this, you just put it in there and then you just wait.
Oh, it doesn't even need to be like fertilized.
Nothing. No. And like I was saying, wow, what a tough process, right? Yeah, exactly. But I appreciate your attendance. So you literally then just take it and you put it anywhere. Not anywhere. Like I was saying, you don't want to put a cutting into like a bright area where it's going to get sunshine. You'd want it in like a not dark area, but so if this were my apartment and I had eastern facing windows like over here, I wouldn't want to put it, over in that direction. What I'd want to do is I'd want to put it over like here. This would look lovely, and there's some nice ambient lighting, and literally you just wait. And the nice thing about Epiprenum pothos is that they root fast. I mean, they root so fast that within, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks, you would have long enough roots, probably longer than 3 to 4 inches, which is the length that you want, a safety length, to pot it up. And so with a syndapsis, the Syndapsis exotica here, there I've noticed that syndapsis are trickier to propagate. Like their success rate can be a little off. But then again, you would also want to look for the node, which would look very similar to the nodes that I just showed you in the epiprenum, which this one's a tough one to see because it's a smaller plant. But oh, there we go. See, like this part right here, like right under that bump.
Oh yeah, I think so.
That's where, like, right.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, there's a bump there. Yeah.
Yeah. See, like right there.
Ah, yes.
I would probably cut as low as I could from right there and then pot it up. But here's the thing, okay, is that you're going to notice because it's trying to grow new roots, is that the plant is using energy to grow new roots. And in doing so, it's going to drink some of this water. So you're going to want to keep an eye on the water because the moment it goes below the node as roots are coming out, you just want to keep on making sure that it's full. But there are propagations that can be really, really challenging, very difficult. And I recently did on my YouTube channel, a plant episode on propagating this Monstera Thai constellation. Now, Monstera, your typical Monstera deliciosa, the green ones that we see everywhere, they they are very easy to propagate and they'll root quickly and 100% success rate. That baby, that was a challenge. So it had this gorgeous, big, beautiful leaf that if you walk by my unit, you'll see it in the front display. Yeah, yeah, it's beautiful. But the problem was that I wasn't really going to propagate it at all. But the plant was, I mean, its leaves were going everywhere. And yes, I have a large unit, but I have a lot of plants. And so it's like there's only a limited amount of space for everyone, all right? And because it was in the off season where I wasn't getting the best natural light, and I have grow lights like everywhere, shining down on them to make up for that light. It was seeing light in different directions. So these guys are going this way, and then the other one was going that way, and I'm like, okay, we need to figure something out. I'm like, I'm going to try and propagate it. Monstera constellation, unlike your typical monstera, are more prone to root rot. And so while they love a good chunky aeroid soil mix, which by the way, like I was saying, the philodendron, the syndapsis, the epiprenum, pothos enjoy as well. They like to be watered more consistently. Like they don't want their soil to be moist all the time, but the moment you feel the first 2 to 3 inches dry, you give it a good soaking. And what I did and what I failed to do was realize that because of that reason, when I went to go propagate it, it was a successful propagation overall. Thank gosh, because it was a beautiful, beautiful cutting. And but when I went to go put it in water, I noticed quickly that the water was getting murky. Like it wasn't clear like Kristen's is here. It was gross, and it really started to actually kind of smell like sulfur. And so immediately I FaceTimed my buddy Todd, who owns the Bronze Petal here in Denver, and he's like, "Oof!" He's like, "You're water propagating a Monstera constellation. You're a brave man." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, remember they're prone to root rot." And I'm like, "Damn it!" You know, I'm like, "You're right." And I'm like, "Well, I have it in there." I'm like, "It had really long aerial roots, which will develop soil roots and all that stuff." But I'm like, it's murky, and he's like, yeah, he's like, and that'll lead to root rot. And so he offered me some great advice. Air stones that you have in like fish tanks yeah. So he told me to order one of those. I got one off of Amazon for like $5 and put it in there. Oof, it turned everything around. I recently potted up the plant, and as you can see in my window, it's doing really well. And so a little bit more difficult and challenging to propagate. Some plants are. What's also cool about propagations is that, let's say you don't like the idea of having, a glass jar with roots around it. You can get creative with decorations. And so what I do sometimes is I go and I will get like a vase, and I will take said vase and I will take this in there and just put it in there as a decoration, because the plant's roots, the bottle part, doesn't need to see light. It's the leaves that are collecting the photosynthesis, that are photosynthesizing to to grow those roots. And so you can hide it in there just like this, and it'll look cool. And so I do that with like a lot of things. A little cheap hack for when getting vases, or I like to get wicker baskets and stuff like that, is to go to like a Ross, because you can get nice ones for like, I don't know, $2, $3. Yeah, or an Amazon. I mean, you can find plenty of stuff on there for super duper cheap. And so, yeah, that's one thing too about propagation. So I think that it would be good for you guys to try propagating. Awesome. And it's already got a root in it, which is nice. And so you get yourself a glass jar. Boom, bam. There you go.